All right, what's going on, everyone? In today's video, we got a good one. We're going to be talking about the basics of the path variable. So let's go ahead and dive in. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to hit echo, which shouts out my path variable. So I'm going to hit path, and then we can see my whole path here, right? So we'll focus on home student, and this home student, that's basically me, right? So if I put, who am I? So who am I? Then we can see right here that I am student. And we know that this home student, that's me, I'm the local user. Now, how does all this make sense? Well, we can use the which command, and this will tell us where exactly the commands that we have access, where they're located at. So again, if I say which, and then here I have the command ls, which lists the directories, or lists anything that we want in our home directory here. So I'm gonna do which ls so we can see exactly what's going on. And so now we see USR bin, and then it ends in ls. Well, that matches this, right? User bin, and then user bin. So now I know I have access to the list command, right? Because there's the user bin list, and then there's the user bin here. We know that's my path, so we know I have access to that. Another thing we can do time, and then we can do the same command list, and then it's gonna operate the command like usual. It's gonna list everything in my directory here, right? And then we can have the time in front of it. That way now we can see how fast it took for us to, well, for Linux to execute this command here. So we see the system, see the user, and the real time here. Another thing we can do to verify that our path is correct here, we can do print working directory, which is pwd, and then right here we can see that with right now I'm in my home student directory, and then we see home student directory is present here for our path environment. Okay. Another command we can see that we have access to, we can do which, and then we can do that time command that we just saw. And we see here the same thing. We have access to it in our user bin, and then it ends in time there. So we know we have access to that because of the user bin here. And then lastly, we can, if we do sudo -i, we can start a root shell, which is basically a root environment with the highest elevated privileges. Because right now I'm just a regular user here, right? So then I can just put in the root password, which is a person with the highest elevated rights, right? So now I started a root environment here. So now I can do echo path. And then now you see the difference here is that now instead of that home student, we see here now that it says root, which is the root home directory, right? So it's going to be, I'm going to do who am I again. And then now we have root, and then I can do pwd. And then we see here, now our environment starts with the root, and it goes on down to everything that we have access to, right? And then here I can do which ls like we did when I was just a regular user, but now I'm the root, so I do which. And then now you see here we have bin, there's no longer that user USR because now we are the root. And so now you see that here with the bin here, okay? And you can also see it here as well, where there's no longer that USR bin anymore for us, right? Because now it starts off in the root. And of course we can exit here by just hitting exit. We can go log out of the root, and now we're back to the user environment. So this will conclude today's lesson. I hope you understood, and I hope you learned something that was new to you. And stay tuned for more Linux tutorial videos because you know they're coming and you know they're on the way. And of course, I appreciate your support in this Red Hat journey. So thank you guys again and have a good day.